Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome to an equipment spotlight. Now, the more observant of you may have noticed that this isn't an airsoft gun, but it is exactly related to what we're going to be talking about today. This is a digital SLR camera. It's one of my cameras, and this is like an entry-level camera, but we're not interested in that sort of thing exactly. What we're looking at today is that if you want to take one of these cameras out onto the airsoft field to take some snaps, okay, what do you have to think about in terms of security? Because it's going to get hit by BBs. You don't want, something that's moderately expensive to get ruined. Now, the body itself is very robust. I'm not going to go firing BBs at that. I think it'll be alright if a stray one hits it. The most delicate part, the screen, is at the back, and that's going to be facing towards me as I'm moving the camera around. So it's very unlikely that that's going to get hit. The main lens is cylindrical, so if a BB hits it, it's going to hit it at an angle and will probably get deflected. It's very unlikely that a BB is going to hit direct on, and if it does, I don't think it's really going to do it much damage. There's always a bit of risk involved with BBs hitting your equipment. However, there's one point area of risk that I'm most concerned about, and that's the front of the lens. This is the one place I really don't want the BBs to hit. So what I've got here is I've got a filter. Now, this is just a UV filter, and it's designed for the size of this lens. And I bought 6 of these off eBay for a tenner. I'll put the details of what they are in the link in the description below, but they are £10 for 6. You can buy them individually, but I've bought 6 because I'm going to test them. We're going to stress test them. We're going to do an experiment. So I'm not going to shoot it directly at this in case they are rubbish, but what I have done is I've melted a hole into the back of one of these cases that they come in, and then I've used blue tack to secure the filter in place. So I will clamp this inside my shooting tent, and we'll see what happens. First, I'll start quite some distance away, and we'll fire a BB right at it and then inspect it. And then we'll get closer and closer and see how we go. Let's give these a test and see if they're going to let us take our camera out in the field without worries about our front of our lens. Right, so I'm doing this from inside my house, shooting out of the patio, across the garden, into a tent. Now, why am I using a tent? I'm using a tent so that we don't get any stray BBs go flying around. I haven't got a lot of land to shoot at down there. We don't want them straying over the fence or anything like that. As you'll see soon, the lens filter is situated in a vise in the tent, and I've just got a bit of polystyrene behind it to stop the BBs going through the back of the tent as well. This here is my P90. It's currently rated at around 340 FPS, feet per second, and that is pretty close to the legal limit in the UK. Well, the legal limit for all the sites that I go to anyway. So that is pretty much as close as I'm going to get with any of my guns. It's only just short, and I'm about, I would say about 15 meters away. So I'm quite close to this particular, to the actual filter itself. We'll start from here, and if it survives, we'll work our way closer. So first of all, eye protection as always. And then I'm going to start shooting just to the side of it, because I want to get as close to the middle as possible. So I want to make sure that my accuracy is just right, and then I'll move it across, and we'll pop one right into the middle of it. Well then, let's have a look to see what we did. Well, first of all, they break. That is noticeable. I thought they would be a little bit more sturdy than this. I thought they would have to take 1 or 2 hits and then they would go. But these particular filters went straight away. If you spent a lot more money on them, I think you probably wouldn't get a lot more deal of improvement. This glass material is what it is. You're not going to get much better for your money without buying seriously expensive stuff. And that's the whole point of this, is a cheap way to protect yourself, so that's no good. When the BBs hit, they smashed it. They didn't really go through. They smashed and most of the time bounced off. And there's a few slow motion pictures here. So I thought, well, if one is going to let a BB smash it to pieces, let's put two together. So I put two filters together and performed the same test. And you can see what happens here now. So from that you can see that the second one, or at least when I had a closer look, the second filter behind the first one was undamaged. This would imply that if you put a single filter onto your lens, the lens behind the filter that got smashed to pieces would be undamaged. However, there's one last thing to consider here, and that's I fired one BB at this and it smashed to pieces. BBs very rarely get fired in single shots. Sniper rifles and things like that, yes, but the average player out in the field will do short bursts, if you're lucky. So if you've got one BB on target of this, you've probably got a couple more coming, maybe more if you're unlucky. Now your reaction times might not be quick enough to pull that lens out of the way quick enough after it got hit once. So, even though they do protect against a single BB shot and they smash, they take the power out of that BB, it doesn't leave it protected for further BBs to come in after it. Well, I think from that it is actually disappointingly inconclusive. If you're willing to take the risk of taking your camera out onto the field without a UV lens because you think you will probably be okay, you may as well go get one. You're a couple of pound off the internet and you're going to save yourself. It is going to help. It does take the power out of the BB. But if you want to be 100% secure, or as close as you can be, you know, there's never 100%, but as close as you can be to being safe with your camera on the field, then even a couple of these isn't going to do the job, because a couple of BBs in a stream are just going to smash their way through each layer and you're not going to be protected well enough. So I can't tell you what to do. It's up to you to decide based on what you feel your equipment's worth and what you think the risks are. But hopefully this has shown you how these filters stand up, in that they don't, but they sort of do. Myself personally, I'm going to put some more thought into this and maybe come up with some different solutions. Well, there we go. There's UV filters as a course of protection for your cameras in Airsoft. Some might say yes, some might say no. I'll leave that to you. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. And if you found this useful at all, remember to leave a like. Goodbye for now.